Imagine standing on the highest point on Earth. The view is legendary, but there's a dark secret. Your body is literally rotting away with every second you stay there. Welcome to the death zone, a place where the laws of physics are rewritten in blood, and the cost of a single breath is your very existence. Visual, fast cuts of frostbitten fingers, a flickering oxygen gauge, then total silence for 2 seconds. At 26,000 feet, you aren't just climbing, you are entering a biological countdown. If you collapse here, no sirens will wail, no rescue team is coming. Above this line, survival isn't a choice, it's a cold, calculated miracle. At sea level, breathing is effortless, but at 26,000 feet, you are inhaling 70% less oxygen. Your heart hammers against your ribs like a trapped animal, trying to pump blood that has turned as thick as sludge. Then the real horror begins. Visual, animation of the brain expanding against the skull. Your brain begins to swell, leaking fluid into your skull. Suddenly, you lose all sense of direction. Up becomes down, and survival becomes a blur. You might find yourself stripping off your heavy down suit in 40-degree weather because your dying brain is convinced you're burning alive. This isn't just a mountain, it's a waking nightmare. Common sense asks, why not just send a high-altitude helicopter? Visual, footage of a helicopter struggling in turbulent, thin air. Here is the brutal physics. The air at this altitude is so thin that helicopter rotors have nothing to grab. Trying to hover at 26,000 feet is like trying to swim in a vacuum. It's impossible. The machines simply drop like stones. This means every rescue must be done on foot, but dragging an unconscious 180-pound man through waist-deep snow? At this altitude, that body feels like a literal ton of lead. It takes 10 elite Sherpas burning through their own precious oxygen just to move one person. Most of the time, the math just doesn't add up. To save one life usually means risking 10 more. This brings us to the most haunted landmark on Everest, Green Boots Cave. In 2006, a climber named David Sharp crawled into this limestone alcove, shivering and out of oxygen. Visual, slow, dark panning shot of the cave. Text on screen. Why did they leave him? Narrator, low, serious tone. More than 40 climbers passed him that day. Some heard his faint moans. Some saw his frozen eyes track them as they walked by. He likely whispered, "Please help me." But no one stopped for more than a moment. Was it cruelty? No, it was physics. To unclip from the safety line and try to carry David was a suicide mission. If you stop to save a stranger in the death zone, you run out of oxygen. If you run out of oxygen, you die right next to them. On Everest, empathy is a luxury that costs 100% of your life. David Sharp died exactly where he sat while the world walked past him. So, I ask you, is the summit worth the risk? Would you step into a zone where your screams go unheard and no hand can reach yours? Visual, wide shot of the peak vanishing into a storm. Everest is beautiful, but remember the view from the top might be the last thing you ever see. Drop a comment below. Would you risk it? And hit subscribe to explore more of the edge of human limits.